Hello again, this is Lattice multiplication part 2, and I'm going to try this one differently. I am not going to do any of the writing. I'm just going to use my mouse and these handy dandy tools up here to show you again how this multiplication works. So what I've done in advance is I've just drawn a little table, and I'm going to set this up so we can look at this strategy again. So what I'm doing right now is I am putting in some factors for this strategy, or for this multiplication question. So what we're doing is multiplying 34 times 45. So 34 times 45. Okay. So I'll move this out of the way just in case it gets to be in the way. So what we've done is we've separated the 30 from the 4 and the 40 from the 5. So I'm going to take, let's use this one. I am going to add some diagonal lines. So what this does is acts as a template for my tens column and my ones column. So let's look at our first one. So I'm going to look at this blank right here, and like I said in part 1, it doesn't really matter which box you'd like to start with, but I generally start with this one just because it's where we would start traditionally when we're multiplying in the algorithm. So what we will do from here is look at this box just like we would be reading a grid. So we're going to look at the number to the top and to the right, which would be 4 times 5. So very similar. This is exactly where we would be starting with the traditional algorithm. It is multiplying 4 times 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. In the, oh no. Okay, be that way. I'm going to move up so I can draw in here. So 4 times 5 is 20. So 0 ones and 2 tens. So we're going to go to the next one. Like I said, it doesn't really matter which one to go to next. So I'm going to highlight another one for us. So let's try this one. So as we said before, we're going to look up and across. So we have 3 times 5, which is 15. So 1 10 and 5 ones. Looking at the third, again, we will go up and across. So 3 times 4 is 12. So 1 10, 2 ones. And finally, 4 times 4, which is 16. 1 10, 6 ones. So now that we have all our values filled in this table, I'm going to turn them all the same color so we can use this to add. So we're going to add the diagonals, as we said. So our first one is pretty simple. 0, and nothing to add to it is a 0. The next one we'll look at is 6 plus 2 plus 5, which will give us 13. And since that 1 will be carried, we'll put this in this column right beside this one. So then we'll look at the next diagonal, which is 1 plus 2 plus 1, and then the one that we brought over from that 13, which is 5. And then the 1 on its own, is 1. So we take these digits and we read them from left to right. So 1,530. 1,530. So that is basically it. Now I'm going to go back, and feel free to stop the video now. I'm going to do one more example just because I have this table already set up. And we'll try a different number. So we'll try maybe a 7, a 6, and 2. I'll keep that. So back to square one. 4 times 2. 0 tens. 8 ones. Square 2. 7 times 2. 12. 7 times 2 is 110. 4 ones. 7 times 6. 4 tens. 2 ones. And our last one, 6 times 4. If we look at this from the other video, if these numbers, because I did choose larger numbers on purpose, so if we can't quite see that 6 times 4, the answer right away, we'll cut that one in half. So 6 times 2 is 12, doubled is 24, and we add the diagonals. So 8 all by itself, 4 and 4, 1 and 2 and 2. 4 is all by its lonesome. 4,588.